an entire country here. How many people are going to have the right mentors? How many people are going to be able to afford the right classes? How many people are going to be able to have that person in their life that will actually teach them correctly? And let's say even if I do have a right mentor, how likely is everybody going to actually listen to that person? We're dealing with children here. Children are rebellious, they're teenagers. Sometimes they want to listen to their parents, sometimes they don't. And for the kids who do, not everybody can afford it. So right now you're generalizing everybody and not giving everybody an equal playing field, which is why I think we need to definitely raise that
So we've
age.
already heard from Isaac, Jasmine, and Kristen.
I like to say, I understand your point, Jasmine,
Keenan.
that importance and safety is something to take in precedence, but you're not really thinking about the question itself. It's about raising the age to drive from 16 to 18. When you're in high school, this is the age of students. They have school, they have classes. Indeed, that is true. They don't always have to need to drive, and yet, though safety is important, there's also many perks to it. You have family that are reliable. You have students that can actually drive other people. Of course, that's important too. But there's another thing that you need to bring to attention. You mentioned that many people's lives are at risk. They're dying because of this issue. Students not being well prepared. Well, that's one thing. You have a driver's license. You have driver's tests. That's one. You mentioned something, but I like to mention a ratio. There are many people that die, get injured in these car accidents due to, I guess you could say, illogical reasons or justifications from students themselves, but there's also a ratio of those people that actually succeed and do just fine. My brother, one of them, 5 of my brothers, all of them. They succeed in driving. They succeed in helping my family. They succeed in helping everyone else around them. And though death is an issue, the ratio compared to it isn't just.
So, Keenan, if I can, I'll
take that into consideration.
I actually agree with Keenan on that point. I feel like turning 16, it's a time of coming of age. You have a lot more responsibilities, and your family becomes a lot more dependent on you. So I feel like being in high school, you obviously want to earn that driver's license. It's something that you've been looking forward to with your sweet 16, and you also have to take on a lot of that responsibility. You know, a lot of high schoolers, they're starting to get jobs in preparation for living on their own and becoming more independent when they go off to college, and so I feel like it's the first milestone and test of them to see how they're really going to do with on their own without their parents' guidance. And so I feel like 16 is a great age to kind of put, you know, your students and high schoolers and let them see how they're going to do in that real world situation, because our parents aren't always there to coddle us. I mean, it's natural. Kids are going to grow up, and we have to mature. And I feel like learning your driver's license is one of those major responsibilities that really helps train you in order for you to go on and become independent.
I agree. Sorry. I agree with a lot of the points as far as giving them the responsibility. I think it's super important at a young age to have that responsibility. A point was jobs. A lot of kids are getting jobs at 16 to gain that independence, gain that responsibility, so they have that in the real world. But one thing is, like, how are we ensuring that we are getting our student drivers the help that they need? How are we making sure that they're getting this education, because it's important. I mean, they're driving. This is other people's lives at risk on the road. I mean, you see so many accidents yearly. So how are we making sure that our students, our young minds are getting educated on the road?
So Haley, your point.
I really appreciate. Oh, go ahead, Sydney. Sydney, you can go ahead.
Starting, I definitely see where you're coming
Sydney
from,
making her way into the
but
conversation.
at the age of
Isaac
16,
giving her
when
the
you're getting
floor.
your driver's license, you have to take tests, a written test, and you actually have to get in a car and drive. You don't get your license unless they know that you're ready for this big responsibility. As we were stating earlier, 16 is the age where you have so much responsibility. It's like your life is taking a change, you know? Your life isn't on hold anymore. You have so much responsibility, and you're out there to just see what you can do with it. And if we take this responsibility away, then kids aren't learning what they need, as we were stating, with the jobs and everything, and just getting out there in the real world, because when you turn 18, you're going to college, you have to get your education, you want to have a bright future. Adding in having to study for a driver's test and to get your driver's license, that's adding too much on the plate. At 16 years old, that's when you're supposed to have this responsibility and take it and run with it.